and reply to my request at your earliest convenience.
Okay, so I want you all to take the same thing. See if you can develop a character sketch for this person right here. Tell me why he wants to go north. Can you tell me what he's looking for when he goes north? Can you tell me that just think about if the work he's going to do will allow him to take his family, how much money you think he might need, does he have a family? I want you to sort of think about if it was you, what's his education level, what he's at. Can you all take a few minutes to do that? So talk among yourselves because I'm going to ask you some very important questions. All right? I'm going to do it. Help me out. I don't want to break it. Oh, help me out. Help me out. So the first thing is, let me tell you about the site. So it gives you all these migration resources, first of all, that you can go through. It gives you letters, it gives you articles, it actually gives you scholarly papers written about it. So it gives you some context yourself. It also gives you the primary documents that you all just saw. And I'm gonna go back here. And it gives you all, like I said, this website talks about the migration of African people in general. So as I said, it starts from, as you see, the transatlantic slave trade and goes all the way down. So we went with the Great Migration. So we got our source materials from there. Let me also show you what's here. So it allows you to see by concentration, economics, geography, history, language, arts, math. I mean, it gives you all these various concentrations. So let's just take social studies. Right? Then it gives you, let me plug up before I run out. It gives you various lesson plans that you can use. Both high school, middle school, not a lot of elementary. Okay. All right. Now, here's one right here. To move or not to move. Decision making and sacrifice. Okay, let me ask this side right here. I just want to answer the first question. For your writer, did he tell you how bad it was where he was living? Did he say it was bad in the South? No. You didn't see it again? You didn't say that at all? Make sure. Hold up. All right. You all have that one right there, right? Okay. So he didn't tell you how bad it is. All right, let me ask another question. You all can tell me. Does he let you know how good it is where he wants to go? He's giving you some information. That's what he's trying to find out. He's trying to find that out, right? He's trying to find out. And what does he want to know, particularly for you?
A good section of.
He wants to know, is there a good area for him to move to, right? Right. He wants to know. So does he? Now, who in the family will make that journey?
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say. From his acting, what do you think?
We think he has a family.
You think he has a family, but is he bringing the family with him on the first journey?
Not initially.
Not initially. You think he's going to go by himself. And why do you think he's going to go by himself? To evaluate the area. And how do you know he's going to evaluate the area? Because he wants to know more. He wants you to recommend a good area first, so you can go up and evaluate it. Do we know how much it costs? Did he tell us?
No.
Now, what we would have to do, we just don't have time to do it, what you would do is maybe pull 3 or 4 of the letters because they're short. And each one asks a different thing. One says, I learned your paper that would cost this much money. Because what the Chicago Fed would do, they would either answer the letter by writing directly to the person, or they would answer in an article in the paper. We had a writer from Alabama who asked X, Y, and Z. And so you could have both the paper with the response, or you could have the letter. So he doesn't tell us that. He doesn't tell us where to do. But is there a sacrifice that he has to make? This person, your person has to make going up? What's the sacrifice that he has to make?
Well, I mean, he's got to leave his family behind.
Is he guaranteed to make money?
No.
No? So tell me about his occupation. Do you think he has a good chance to get a job?
He's a carpenter, we think so.
And why do you think he has a good chance to get a job?
It's a growing area.
It's a city, right? They're building buildings, they're doing things, so he might have a chance. What else can you tell me about your person? What else? You don't know his name, right?
We gave him a name.
What is his name? What name did you give him?
George Johnson.
George Johnson. So tell me a little bit about George Johnson.
Well, we think he's probably in his mid-30s.
Okay, mid-30s. Why do you think he's mid-30s?
Because he sounds stable and solid, you know, kind of
Okay.
like a family guy that, you know.
All right. Because he's
young
asking.
and immature.
Asking the right questions.
He's asking the right questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Concerned about
What's his
that.
education level?
He's got some education. We don't think he's college, even high school grad, but he got some education.
Well, he has some education because he's a carpenter, right?
Yeah.
He's a carpenter. You got at least know fractions and things like that, right? And he's writing this letter, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the words? He's spelled them phonetically, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you know about your person?
Somebody in the group said that based on the area where he was from, he probably had been through a formal apprenticeship and had really good skills.
And why do you think he was a formal apprenticeship?
I'm gonna answer that.
Well, Charleston, South Carolina is one of the oldest cities in the country.
Right,
We've had
right.
a black community there from the 1600s.
That's right. That's right.
1700s.
During the 1700s, New York had the largest black population of a city. The second largest black population was Charleston.
So if he was even a mid-level carpenter in Charleston, that puts him ahead of any jackleg carpenter anywhere else in the South.
Okay, good. That's pretty good. What else can you tell me about George Johnson?
We think he probably made a decent living in Charleston. He's expecting, what do we say, make anywhere, probably got to start off, maybe not the level he's accustomed to by moving to this area, but probably have to start off a lower level position and work his way up.
Okay.
He's not gonna make as much because he's black as a white carpenter with the same skills. So we figure around about 3 to 5 hours a day.
Okay. That's pretty good. $3 to $5 a day. That's pretty good. Okay. I want to ask this group over here some questions. I want to ask those, go down a little bit. So I'm going to ask you, is your person a male or a female?
Male.
How do you know it's a male? Tell me the tone of the letter what made you think it was a male. You can
Go
tell me.
back to it. Get back to that. Wait, go back to it.
Oh, okay. Let me go back to it. All right, gotcha. Okay, so here you are right there. Gentlemen. Okay, there's your letter. Okay.
Because one reason is because he's asking for an inside job, and most women would have worked as a housekeeper or, been a domestic.
So you think it's a man because he's asking for an inside job?
Right.
Okay, all right. Well, let me ask you.
And then usually, when you think about the migration, many times the male would go first.
Right, and then send for the
And
family.
then send for the family.
Right, very
So
good.
that's the reason why I thought it was the male.
What's his age? They said their person was 30 because he's asking questions about finding a good neighborhood. What is this person concerned with?
He's serving cold weather, so he may be cold out
Might
the
be
ground.
older.
He might be older, okay.
Out the ground.
He might be older and weak.
Older.
Out the
Maybe
ground.
about 4.
He might be young. You think he might be younger?
No.
What do you all? You all think he might be young?
Not used to the weather.
Huh?
I thought young,
He's just not used to the weather. You think he's young and still not used to the weather?
I think
No.
because younger people don't think about the
Yeah,
way.
you done, you're a kid.
I asked that question because we really don't know. We really don't know. But what's interesting, when you read the letter, we have to infer that this guy has a family. And why did you infer that?
Because he wants a good neighborhood.
He wants a good neighborhood. What do you want for your kids? A nice place to grow up, a nice place to stay. guys, can you tell me about your person?
Well, yeah.
Is he educated?
Yes.
How can you tell he's educated?
Well, like he's using words like upon reading.
Upon reading?
Upon reading. In other words, he
Look at this big word. Look at this big word right here he uses.
Yeah, climatize.
He uses climatize.
Yes.
Look what there. Look at the guy did above. I mean, compare that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Right. He's educated.
Right? I mean, it's totally different. It's totally different. I read a piece.
So he,
I mean, it's totally different. So, okay, so this person is educated, all right.
and this person also, as we said, he reads the newspaper. He's looking for work through
Okay.
sources like newspaper.
Okay. Okay, so tell me one other thing about this. So it doesn't tell us how much he's going to make, right?
No, but this was right after, this was World War I.
Uh-huh.
And so you had, the anticipation was a lot of jobs in the north because the soldiers going to war. So he's anticipating getting a job in the factory.
Right. Now, now the lesson for this is really a 50-minute lesson. I don't know, how many of you all have 50 minutes to do a lesson like this? So the plan says you would allow the students to read either beforehand, give them time to read in class, and to take the various documents and sort of analyze them to create this character sketch of who this person was. And it goes on even further, so that you ask students to come up and give a report, and they can portray it, you can do living history theater, a number of things to tell their experience by putting letters together. But I think, something like this, and I understand that you guys have to teach so the kids can pass a test, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, that's the big problem.
Don't you all have to do that, right?
Yes.
What's the problem with that?
Well, for one thing,
Yeah.
and another thing, I teach with the history.
Uh-huh.
I do AP, so it's like information overwhelming.
Uh-huh.
It's an overload. And even though I use a lot of primary documents because they have to use it,
Right.
it's like I can't spend as much time on them as I would really like to.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right. Well, okay, so how then, because I'm asking a question, because this is all well and good when you see it on the website, but, so I asked if you could take 50 minutes to do this, right? Could it engage the kids and be useful for 50 minutes? And what is something like this for? You're teaching to the test, right? So they can pass the test. So what is this useful for you if you're teaching to the test? How is this useful for you?
Well, it's useful for making them have solid ideas about the Great Depression.
Okay.
I mean, migration.
Might be useful for that reason. What other reason might it be useful to you?
It can be formally conceptual. You talk about economics, you're talking about cultural issues. You can take so much out of that can apply. When you look at the new objectives for United States history, the state test, it's conceptual. It's no longer based on just facts alone. It's taking facts from any era and applying this objective to that. So you can take that and pull economics, you can pull rights. So there's a lot that you can pull out of the state.
And let me say this, on what I understand, the new test, a lot of it is gonna be like excerpts from different people. You can take an excerpt, part of that, and say, from what time period would this depict? And the student would come up with Great Migration
Based on what it's saying.
What it's saying.
Right.
So it can be used for a lot of stuff.
Great, let me, yes.
Well, on the MCT for English, inferring is a huge thing. Everything is, what could you infer about that?
Right.
That's exactly what they're doing, they're
Right.
inferring. So you teach them how to figure out things on their own, that helps them just not history. I appreciate that it actually brings characters to life, because a lot of times we feed them a lot of information and they forget that these are real people. And so when they can read something specifically from that person or multiple people, it kind of makes it more real to them.
Great.
And last thing I wanna say, I know you wanna hear AP, but
No, I'm joking about AP, I really.
They have to do a DBQ on the AP exam, and they have to justify, and if they had, a question on there from, that dealt, the question dealt with the Great Depression, they could use that to justify whether it was good or bad for African Americans. They have to write it in and use the document